family and friends. It's really a good idea that we can have this time with you. Today here it is January 19th, and we are near the city of Asuncion in our home because we have been going through a series of treatments with Judy. Just earlier this past year in February, we began a new ministry in the Ciudad del Este, City of the East. And it was totally strange to us. We didn't know anybody, but we knew that there was a big need in that place as well, since we had also been working here in Asuncion. And we got there, and it wasn't very long, and we started to get to know people. And very soon, we got to know lots of people over a period of about 9 months. And we had like over 200 people that we had already registered that had come to visit at our center near the hospital. We had a support group meeting every week, and it was really a very important time. Some of the people said this was the most important thing in their whole week, was to have their Tuesday afternoon support group meeting. And we also felt that it was important, and of course it was always an opportunity. We did some singing, we shared some scripture, devotional, very short. It was not supposed to be a preaching time, but we always had opportunity to share, and people knew where we were coming from and accepted that. We had some that were Christians that joined us, others that were not Christian but open to listening. And then, of course, there were some people that stayed away because they didn't like to be a part of that. So, anyways, that was a real important part of our ministry. Also, being in the hospital, and when there were people sick in the hospital, to visit and to be with them. Several people died during the time we were there. We got to be good friends with some that got sick and passed away. So we were able to also walk alongside them and the family through some of those experiences. Other real important part of our ministry was going to the schools and doing AIDS talks with the young people, challenging them against discrimination and also for sexual purity. We also tried to get into some of the churches, which was more of a challenge, but we did get into some churches, and also were able to share about our ministry, the name Conexión Vida, connection to life link. We are, of course, with OM. Even though we don't register in the EMC yearbook as Rosenord missionaries, we still consider ourselves your missionaries. And then it was only a few months into our work in Ciudad del Este when Judy started to have health challenges, health problems. And so I'll let her talk about the development that kind of took us by surprise there and changed the direction of our lives.
Hi there. It's a privilege talking to you like this, even though we'd like to do it face to face. And but I want to share about the short time that we've had in Ciudad del Este so far, and it's been a joy for us that God led us to a new ministry, and living or helping the HIV, or people living with HIV, has been part of our life for about 20 years now already. And so with mixed feelings, we started this new step again, and it was just a very beautiful experience to get to know a whole new family again. And we had the privilege of having one of the members of Kristen Ravita's church, a Paraguayan lady that joined us, and besides helping us with the cleaning there and cooking, I also trained her in counseling, registering the HIV in the charts, or doing charts with them, and she just loved it and was very much a part of the ministry, and realized how how we had an open door with these people. Like when you start charting them and having different questions as to their past and present, it usually didn't take long, and the person would open up and usually start crying. Usually we'd be the first one that they would be talking to openly about their past life and present situation and experience discrimination, and just to feel along with them and to have that heart. They just felt a real love, just a real love from us. They knew it was genuine. And it is genuine what we feel from, even no matter what direction of their life they were coming from. We had druggies, we had ex-criminals, we had prostitutes, we had a lot of single mothers, and also couples where both the father and the mother, HIV, sometimes a few of their kids. And so you really become they are very vulnerable, and we have to be so careful that we cherish that and we build that trust with them, and they just latch onto it very fast. Well, in the midst of all of that, I was starting to, almost right from the beginning, I was starting to have health challenges, and we started doing different kinds of analysis and going from one to another, and of course our son as a doctor, having our family in Lucero there in Tres Palmas, where we went back a couple of times a month. He was my first doctor there, and just going from one analysis to another, like I said, and also spending time in prayer and asking God for healing, and so it finally towards the end of the year, it came out that I was diagnosed with cancer. And with Dave's brother present as a doctor, and our son also, and my dad there, and others of our family, most of the family was around when it was talked very directly and openly about what a rare and aggressive cancer that I had, and it was so advanced that it looked like it was just, my chance was just a very short life that I would have, and according to the doctors there was no medical help. It would just be straight to palliative care. And so it was that we talked as a family together later on with my
Later on, her dad came too. So he was there for the birthday party, and also for the 50th anniversary here of the Tres Palmas Church. So it was real special to have her dad, or my father-in-law, there during that time. And it's interesting that many of our family have come to visit over these past few months. Greg and Lynette have come. Hannah, of course, moved back to Paraguay, so she's very much a part of our support group here, family support group. And of course now recently Marge came, and it was of course a big encouragement that she could spend some time together with her sisters here.
When we got the news of the cancer, I had total peace. There was no tearful moment then. Not at all. It was just, okay, what can I expect? What can the family expect? There was just it was just as if I totally fell in love with Jesus, even deeper right from that moment. And just different songs came to mind. We sang a lot, and each song just had a deeper meaning. And it was just as if I was already almost with one foot in heaven. And my
we
dad,
have to remind her to not be in such a hurry to go.
Yeah, he said, you have to realize that God also heals. And oh yeah, that's right. So how do you hold that in balance? You pray for healing, and you want to be here and be healed and continue to be with family and grandchildren and everything, and with the ministry, but you also, my goodness, I want to be in heaven where they're, to be with Jesus and for all eternity. So that is quite the challenge, and only someone that goes through something like that will be able to talk about those kind of feelings, that there are mixed emotions.
I guess the amazing thing is, and what we're just praising the Lord, is that we are going through chemo treatment here at the Baptist Hospital. We have a certain amount of insurance that is helping us cover the cost, and also many friends that are contributing and helping. We even have some people that are contributing that Judy can fly a plane to come in for treatment and to take her back again to Tres Palmas. So instead of a 5-hour trip, we have a 1-hour plane trip, and so sometimes that works out. We can come in for treatment. Other times we spend here we've been here several weeks now near the hospital at our house here, and but the sad thing, I guess, in all of this is that we have had to stop our work in Ciudad del Este. It's a very, very difficult time. Paraguay is having real challenges with HIV treatment, not having enough medication, not having enough doctors, and Ciudad del Este seems to be hit hard, so that it seems like they are actually in a crisis there. They're calling for us to come and help them to try to do something. Of course, we're not in the government program, so we can't directly affect how the government works with the medication, but we would so much like to be there and accompany them and walk with them through this and try to encourage them. We encourage them to get together and to work together to try to influence the decisions that they will be able to continue to have medication. But it's very, very difficult. For that part, we would like to be back there, but right now we've told them that is not an option. We are planning to be more permanently in Tres Palmas, in Lucero. We're actually building our house. We've been living in our little guest house up to now in Tres Palmas, but we are actually starting to build our house now in Tres Palmas and Lucero. And so for the immediate future, of course, Judy's situation, we leave that in God's hands. And a very particular prayer request that we would have is that God would raise up workers that could take over a ministry like this. We would be willing to accompany people and train and help them get into the work. We feel that we are no longer in a position where we would go back to work on our own in this ministry, but we would be willing to help other people and to encourage and to turn over this ministry so that it could continue with other people that the Lord is raising up to work, because we believe that this work is not finished. So we ask you to pray for that God will raise up workers. Maybe you are one of those that needs to come and come and say you're willing to be the person that will come and take over this ministry, and we can walk alongside you and get you going, and the Lord will use you or somebody in a very special way. We thank you for all your prayers. Many people are praying. I think most of you are familiar with our Facebook page, Judy Schmidt Pilgrimage. If you're not, you can go on Facebook and check out Judy Schmidt Pilgrimage, and you will find where I put a regular update on Judy's situation. We just thank you all for your support and encouragement, and we just ask that the Lord will also bless you as you have also gone through challenges in the church there, that God will just be very near to you and help you do your work there, as we also want to continue doing our work here.